Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. An individual with a WWE personality has speculated that a real-life lineage member would soon make his debut and fight an opponent. Romulus Reign Sam Roberts is finally of the opinion that Julio, stepping up and confronting the person who was initial tribal chief, has the ability to bring the house down. It has been very evident that the Reigns intends to, because he has not spoken a single word since his return. During SummerSlam 2024, it is still the case that the opponent that he would be facing in his comeback match, according to the happenings of the most important party, this past week's SmackDown and the summer in general, an encounter with Solo Sikoa seemed to be predetermined. As to descend soon, but WWE has the ability to set it aside for premium live event presented on an episode of The Marquee, in his absence podcast in which Sam wrestles Sam. According to Roberts' forecast, Roman Reigns could be confronted by a stablemate from Sikoa. Just in case that wasn't enough, there's also the Raw talk show host that, following the initial tribal program, it is possible that Chief will defeat Tonga. Accosted by the newly released Alio, who is being, it is said that they have signed with. It's possible that Roman Reigns wrestles for WWE Tamatanga, and at that point, Tatonga occurs. Beginnings of Julio is the one who brings him to a close, overcoming Tamatanga, and after that, he arrived at the Julio face Aside Robert, 16 minutes and 1 hour, 48 seconds to 1 hour and 17 minutes. Bill believes that Lannon and Zilla Fatu as well could be of assistance to Roman Reigns in his fight against. On a recent episode of Athletics, Bloodline was mentioned. It's the podcast of the Wrestling Time Machine, SK. It was Bill Apter who stated that Lance, Noy, and Zilla, despite the fact that Fatu could benefit Roman Reigns, disagreements in his conflict with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, in addition to after having felt U.S. Jimmy could possibly make his likely return in the near future, make an alliance with his cousin, as you are aware. This card did not contain any JUSO for whatever reason. The rationale, I am not sure why he was there, but he was. He was on SmackDown, the town he was in, before he entered the building with a few other people, other persons of Samoan descent, I believe. Just seeing Roman Reigns JUSO is the one that is now in town. It's possible that Zilla Fatu is also at this point. A significant amount of repair for Roman's side Lance, as well as Oi, and perhaps Jimmy USO will be returning. It seems that this is heading in the right direction. Declared taking into account the Bloodline, there is Saga. The WWE has a large number of prominent stars involved. There are countless opportunities to investigate that, the ability to take the audience by surprise. Everyone in the WWE Universe has been talking about it. Expectation ever since the inception of the rumors being discussed in relation to a new addition to the ancestry tree, in addition to any and all additions. The actual person who is a member of the Onoi family lineage that has resulted in the production of such highest profile names in the professional world, history of wrestling. While Roman Reigns has a history of, his position as the tribal leader was firmly entrenched. The chief and the leader of the group, without a doubt. Bloodline analysts are of the opinion that there will soon be a seismic shift that will, confrontation that has the potential to reframe the very fabric of. The question that everyone is thinking about is WWE. Is it even possible for someone to have the audacity, the bloodline that will fight against Roman, ruler of? It's possible that the answer can be found in characters in wrestling who receive the most attention. The legacy of Jacob Fatu, who is still in circles today, a family of the Onoi. The family of Onoi possesses a standing in the wrestling world that is almost legendary. a universe populated by legends such as Yokozuna Arki, The Rock, in addition to Roman Reigns. Of course, he is the protagonist of the Bloodline tail line, accomplished the task of capturing the essence of, through this legacy, demonstrating the preeminence of, alongside his cousins, Roman Reigns continues to reign. Both USOs and Solo Sikoa have been around for years. SmackDown was controlled with an iron grip, but ultimately, every empire will be confronted with challenges from within. Enter Jacob Fatu, a member of the crew. Families of the Onoi people who have been making the independent wrestling scene is experiencing waves. Famous for his extraordinary agility and brutal strength, power, as well as a persona that holds authority. Focus on the potential is all there for Jacob Fatu. Although he is a superstar, more importantly, he has a clear connection to the bloodline that he shares with Roman Reigns, which establishes him as a trustworthy, the danger to the chief's throne of the tribal people, a dream match according to the analyst's prognosis. WWE analysts and wrestling are both in the making. Recently, historian Dave Meltzer ignited an interest in an uncontrollable blaze of conjecture when the fact that Jacob Fatu was discussed on his program, who is being considered for a possible debut in WWE. Should there be somebody who is capable of shaking extremely fundamental to the lineage of the bloodline? Jacob Fatu Meltzer disclosed that he possesses the ancestry, the presence, and the majority of the support of the Onoi is particularly vital. Family unit, this is not merely about another thing. The following is about the wrestler who is joining WWE, as well as the legacy and the future of the bloodline. Roman time. Meltzer, a WWE creator, was quoted as saying that Reigns has been putting forth a lot of effort trying to create a plot that would result in Jacob Fatu not being able to just made their debut, but they quickly entered elevated stakes rivalry with Roman Reigns at the time. The plan is to establish Jacob as the one in charge, one who is capable of competing with Romans, someone with authority who is not merely interested in to become a member of the lineage, but he is interested in taking the lead. In light of the arrival, how could Jacob Fatu have debuts in the realm of WWR as follows? Join WW. Everything that a superstar is in its own right presented can serve to establish the tone for the stakes for Jacob Fatu during his entire career. The researchers believe that the number is significantly greater. It is likely that he will make his debut at one of. It's possible that WWE's major pay-per-view events may, Royal Rumble or the Survivor Series, both of which are an example of the shock factor. Imagine this Roman Reigns to its fullest extent, standing in the ring after having just triumphed over one more adversary accompanied by his devoted supporters. The crowd is comprised of cousins the USOs and single Sikoa, is an indication that the environment is stressful. After that, all of a sudden, the lights come out. Titantron comes to life with a flickering screen, an image that is associated with the Samoan warrior mask. Jacob Fatu causes the crowd to erupt in a rapturous, a mixture of bewilderment and exhilaration among the masses. Disappears, and the phrase that he's being replaced by. As the lights are turned back on, Roman enters the room. It is clear that Reigns is visibly shaken for the first time in many years. The users trade glances of concern while the Soul Sikoa clenches her fists. Knowing that a storm is approaching his fists, it is obvious that someone is brewing the message. When it comes from within their own family tree, approaching, and it is not to join, but rather to present a challenge to the contention between blood and the development of the week's blood in the WWE. The universe is given a sense of unease by mysterious backstage parts and promotional materials that hint at the entrance of Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. typically calm and collected, starts to show signs of indications of he is aware of the fact that this is not just in his. Another wrestler. More wrestlers. The family is here. Your family is aware of you. At the Royal Rumble, flaws were finally revealed. This is the moment that everyone has been anticipating. When it arrives here, we have Roman Reigns in the ring, as he had just finished successfully defending his title.